Today on Mod Summed Up, we are summarizing Woot by Ipsis. This mod introduces a 4-tier system of mob farms that don't spawn mobs in-world. These mob factories are multi-block structures that get bigger and more expensive with each tier. Woot factories require power to run and a specified mob to produce loot for. How does one construct one of these factories? It's actually quite simple. Put down a factory layout block and it will show you everything you need to put down and where. Right-click it to change what tier of factory you want to build. Higher tiers of factories can even be built right on top of lower tiers. After completion of the main structure, be sure to put a power cell, an importer, and an exporter in that order under your factory heart for the structure to form. What are the 3 things you just put underneath? The power cell is where you input power, or RF, into the mob factory. The exporter is where drops come out of. Some mobs, like the Ender Dragon, are special and require specific items in order to receive drops. For these, you will need to input any items and fluids into the factory importer. Higher tiers of mobs require your Woot factory to be higher tier, so you won't be able to magically farm Ender Dragons without first having a tier 4 factory and a steady supply of End Crystals. Woot introduces a couple of unique mechanics used to create the parts of this factory, like the Stygian Iron Anvil that involves some in-world bits and pieces. One tells their factory what mob to produce loot for using a factory controller. To craft a factory controller, you need a fully programmed Ender Shard. Hit a mob with a blank Ender Shard to start programming it for that mod. Keep it in your hotbar while you kill mobs of that type to finish programming it. Factory controllers keep their programming after being mined, so you can switch between them easily. On your Woot factory, there are some spots for upgrades. Depending on the tier of factory, you can install up to 3 tiers of the upgrade. Upgrades can be for decapitating, experience, looting, energy efficiency, or a couple of other options. Now let's wrap up with the Pack Dev's Corner. Woot is quite configurable. You can configure what mobs can be programmed down to individual numbers that can be configured for each mob. You can add required inputs and even tweak mob factory loot. There is not currently Craft Tweaker integration for the Stygian Iron Anvil, but there is pretty decent in-game documentation, including JEI support and a guidebook. The mod even has built-in support for Blood Magic and Evilcraft through some upgrades. Woot has no major performance issues. In total, Woot provides a clean way of obtaining mob drops for power, whilst minimalizing mob farm lag. And that's all I have for Woot. Thank you for watching Mod Summed Up, the show where we sum up mods.